I'm Jim Holman, editor of the Reader, San Diego Reader, and I've got Bruce Henderson, former San Diego City Councilman, and a very important figure in the days of the sports expansion in San Diego. We just talked about the ticket guarantee and the disaster it was for San Diego. I want to talk a little bit about how the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl was here in 1998, is that right? And how the lead up to the Super Bowl, and I would say frenzy, that's the kind of word I would use, the city was really in as far as the Chargers. I mean, people were just Charger crazy at that point. And how you ended up being public enemy number one for the entire city of San Diego.
Yeah, well, there was a point actually where there was a big Charger rally, and there were Charger girls, and there were all the Charger cheerleaders, and there were a huge crowd, and the leaders of that rally called for everybody to go out, seek me out, and tar and feather me. I couldn't walk downtown without people challenging me to a fight.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was quite a scene.
Did they have a billboard? I think they had a billboard with you on it.
Yeah, they had a huge billboard with me as public enemy number one.
And who was this? Was this the sports radio station or?
Well, I think it was basically the Chargers wanted me to shut up.
Oh, okay.
Because you see, the irony of this, Jim, was what was I fighting for? Well, I was fighting to do two things. One was to stop corporate welfare. I couldn't believe it. The money needed to be spent on public infrastructure.
Yeah.
You know. The second thing was, ironically, I was fighting to keep the Chargers here in San Diego.
You were their friend. Or you were the city's
why
friend.
they were so angry with me. You see, I would go to the city and I'd say, I'm fighting to keep the Chargers here. And they say, well, that can't be true. You're fighting this agreement. And I said, well, of course I'm fighting this agreement. It's a road map out of San Diego to Los Angeles. The whole purpose of this agreement is to allow the Chargers to move the team to Los Angeles. And they said, no, it's not. I said, you're wrong. Watch.
So when did it start happening? When did people start realizing the Chargers were leaving?
When they finally announced that they were leaving.
What year was that?
Oh, when was that?
So this is 98 when the Bruce Henderson feeling was at its peak. Was it 5 years later? Was it 10 years?
Dick Murphy was mayor. It was early 2000, in the early 2000s.
Okay. And
the Chargers announced that they were going to move. They found a facility, and where was it, up in Los Angeles, where they could move the team to, and they were.
I thought there was a leak in a Diane Bell column in the Union Tribune, that somehow she leaked the fact that they were admitting, at least privately to friends, that they were leaving.
So anyway, the finally at that point, but up to then, I mean the Sportswriters of the San Diego Union and the editors of the San Diego Union portrayed me as the most evil person in the history of the city, and refused to even. Well, actually, the reporters did a very good job of reporting.
Yeah.
By that time, there were other lawsuits, you see, and the Padres situation had taken on a new public prominence, because we started. They came in with an agreement. The Padres came in with an agreement and wanted a new stadium that we were to build.
Yeah.
And John Moores wanted 26 blocks of downtown San Diego, that he would have the development rights and have the city go in and condemn under redevelopment law the properties that he wanted to build on that were owned by private parties. So he was able to acquire those properties at fire sale prices.
I want to get into the Padres a little bit in our next segment, but I want to say the great irony of the Chargers is that instead of you being public enemy after their intentions came out they became the public enemy.
Well, once the public understood, finally the public understood, Mr. Henderson, you were right.
And the Chargers become public enemy number one. The irony is just incredible.
And then the ticket guarantee really started to hurt.
Oh, people know. Well, did they notice it really? Did they really know? Did the average person in St. Louis really know how much it cost, the ticket guarantee?
Well, the union started to scream with headlines.
Oh.
Back then, Jim, things were so different. For example, in 1987, when I was running for city council, if I called a press conference, I had 4 television stations there.
Oh, wow.
I had the LA Times, I had the San Diego Union, I had La Prensa, and I had
Yeah, there were different papers, yeah.
and then I had radio.
Yeah.
I had 5 or 6 radio people there.
Oh, okay.
Plus we had coverage in the Reader from time to time.
Yeah.
Today, well actually by 2010 or so, if you held a press conference, almost no one showed up.
There was nobody left. Or nobody with much energy anyway. But so the hatred of the Padres was just, the Chargers was just incredible, and how it had.
It was visceral.
Because people finally realized they'd been snookered.
Been had.
Yeah.
And it was costing them money. So they were insulted.
Okay, to be continued. The next segment we're going to talk about the Padres.